the ongoing series of leadership and team development. Today we will be dwelling on the topic women and leadership. In the last topic and presentation also, we discussed some issues relating to women and leadership. Today we will be discussing more in detail about the same issues. Women are increasingly determined to break through the conventional glass barrier that prevented the women from rising to position of a leadership, even if they have not the necessary abilities and the talent. In the current times, women are continuously changing and accomplishing new milestones through a wide range of human activities. Women leaders have emerged over the world, including Hillary Rodham, Clinton, Indira Nooyi, Oprah, Theresa May and Christian, to maintain a few. Women are rising to the occasion as stronger leaders and taking on the additional responsibilities that come with it as compared to males at the same level. Women are more likely to support their teams and push diversity, equity and inclusion activities. They are also more likely to support the women of color as allies. Most companies, however, do not acknowledge or reward this vital labor, which has serious ramifications. The companies risk losing the very leaders they need right now, and it's difficult to see how they will navigate the pandemic and create the inclusive workplaces if this effort isn't emphasized. Women are gradually making their leadership presence felt in the entrepreneurship, in the administration, in the education, in engineering, health, etc., at different levels, be it a regional level, national level, and also the global levels. Women are now resolved to break the traditional glass ceiling that barred them from entering the leadership positions, even if they possessed the requisite skills and talent to occupy them. Women are constantly evolving and reaching the new milestones across a wide spectrum of human activities in the modern times. The world has witnessed the advent of women leaders such as Hillary Rodham and other aspects. What is the definition of leadership? Regardless of its size and functions, every organization requires a leader. A muddle of men and machine is a leaderless organization, and anarchy is a country without leadership. And a society without leadership is a violent and dangerous place to live. So what does it mean to be a leader? What does it take to be a leader? A leader is someone who motivates and influences a group of people to achieve their objectives. The ability to persuade people to achieve the goals and improve themselves is a hallmark of leadership. Leadership is the ability of a superior to influence the conduct of subordinates or the groups and persuade them to adopt a specific course of action. Gender does not play a role in leadership, and it is a collection of leadership attributes that are either neutral or fostered in the people who grow into great leaders with a large following. Men and women can both be leaders. So let us discuss few characteristics of a women leadership. The leadership style is transformational in nature. The women are more transformational than men, and when it comes to the leadership, they serve as an example to their subordinates. They motivate their squad and devote a significant amount of effort to coaching them. They are really concerned with their personal development, and as a cornerstone to success, women leaders emphasize the teamwork and the real communication. For the majority of women leaders, leadership is about transforming their followers into a better society, not only in achieving the organizational goals. The next important characteristics of a women leaders are task focused. Women leaders are invariably focused on meeting the deadlines and completing the task allocated to them. Completing a day-to-day duties is very crucial for the company's efficient running from an operational standpoint. Women want to lead and build a flat organization structure that allow everyone to work independently in a congenial environment. The experience and knowledge of the seasoned employees and the management are overlooked because of the flat organizational structure. Women executives are frequently critical of an organizational hierarchical structure. Then it needs to encourage the collaboration and cooperation. Working collaboratively with others is a typical feminine trait. Women leaders are usually encouraged team members to work together and cooperate. In this instance, all team members must be very clear about their duties and responsibilities. Otherwise, redundant work will ensue. The next is the communication methodology. The women leaders are more likely to participate and democratic in their leadership styles. They appear to despise the male leaders' command and control attitude. Women frequently explain their expectations of a task in an indirect manner, giving themselves a greater leeway in achieving a goal. And it can occasionally assist the team members in using their skills and knowledge to execute the assignment, but it can also be disadvantage if the assignment task necessitates a leader to communicate directly with the members. The next is your self-branding. Women leaders, unlike their male colleagues, typically appear modest or mute about their own success. They are rarely successful in branding themselves. Women leaders, on the other hand, must learn how to brand themselves by sharing their accomplishments and the skills with others. People will not appreciate a women leader's qualities until they know or realize what they are capable of. Why women make better bosses? A recent UK survey published in the Journal of Business Research proved that the women make better bosses by leading in a more democratic way, by allowing a staff participation in decision making. Having women in leadership roles increases the communication between management and employees. The consultation of individual employee feedback leads to more efficient organizational structures. So some of the most powerful women leaders of today and in history are as follows. So you can see the Change the World Work feminist. Some of the most powerful women leaders of today and in the history. So first let us talk about Queen Elizabeth. Then is Indira Gandhi. Then is Margaret Thatcher. Then is Angela Merkel. Then we have Ellen Johansson Sirleaf. And the most important issue which we are now going to discuss is about the glass ceiling and women in management. When we are here to discuss the women in the leadership positions, so we need to discuss the various paradigm issues and the frontiers affecting women at workplace and the leadership positions and all the various issues relating to women in management. One of the most pertinent topic which we are now going to discuss is about a glass ceiling. What is the concept of a glass ceiling? The glass ceiling is the unseen yet unbreachable barrier that keeps minorities and the women from rising in the upper rings and the upper rungs of the corporate ladders, regardless of the qualifications or the achievements. That means a woman is not supposed to, and she is stopped to give the positions of C-suite or the highest position or the top positions in the corporate sector. And this issue is so pertinent to be discussed because we need to break the glass ceiling owing to which she attains the top positions, which are also called as C-suite positions or the CEO positions or the positions which are top in hierarchy. Now before we discuss and before we move on and dwell into the various issues, let us discuss more importantly that why women is important in leadership. Any institution for that matter, whether it is a society or an organization in the present century cannot function efficiently without women equal participation in the leadership activities. Women create a perspective that brings a competition and a collaboration to the organizations and the teams. Many statistics show that the companies led by women have a better financial results. The leadership by women is vital to increase the pace of societal transformation at home and at the workplaces. Women leaders are likely to provide an integrated view of the work and the families, resulting in an engaged and promising personal and professional future. The gender parity in the leadership is very important because true progression and the progress cannot happen without a diversity of perspective in the leadership roles. In today's world, organizations that are led by inclusive leadership teams make effective decisions that deliver better results. And in the 21st century, the essential qualities required to lead inclusive and ability to collaborate. Now, connect, empathize, and communicate. All these qualities are feminine in nature and cannot build a more sustainable future. Now, some of the important points relating to women in leadership role are they value the work-life balance. They are empathetic in their characteristic. They make good listeners also. They are nurturing in their character. They are good in multitasking. And when you talk about a multitasking paradigm of a women leader, it has been empirically proved. There are so many empirical research in this regard which very well proves that a woman is a better multitasker compared to males, because male have a comprehension and a concentration to do a single activity compared to multitasking. So here she stands a very good strength. They are also the strong communicators. They handle the crisis situation very well. The most effective leaders combine the feminine and the masculine leadership traits. We have been given a much greater opportunity to pause and empathize two fantastic elements of feminine leadership as a result of our present health crisis that we had in our go-go task-oriented world. Now, regardless of our gender identity, we have the opportunity to strengthen who we are. Unspoken performance, expectations, and informal patterns of influence, they play a part. Of course, women's unique experiences and opinions have a significant role to play. Now, when you talk about the importance of a women in leadership positions, they play a very crucial role in mentoring and recognizing the contributions of the other women. They play a very high value on the professional and the personal development, while also emphasizing the importance of developing others, assigning individuals and making a beautiful and meaningful and a permanent differences in the world. Now let me give you some important points relating to a study conducted by Harvard Business Review, and it is pertinent to mention here. The Harvard Business Review conducted a survey in which they questioned 64,000 people from all around the world to see what current leadership attributes were most desired ones, and being the feminine was related to 8 out of 10 and 8 out of 10 of those attributes. To name, the first is your P, that is leadership power acronyms we are talking about. And when you talk about a women in the leadership role, the first P stands for the patience. That's not easy for me because I am an overachiever, because I'm just letting you know that's the first one. As a result, I have reframed it for myself and perhaps for most overachievers out there. I rename it pause, since I cannot make myself be patient, but I can pause what I take a breather. I gain perspective, which allows me to make a decent strategy and avoid having to redo the things because I rushed it too quickly. So there is the P, patience. The second is acronym of power for the women leadership. P we have already discussed. P stands for patience. Now coming on to the next acronym, that is power O. O is for openness. We all have institution and a leader within us. And by being open to listening to those voices, I was able to hear the good one that would guide me ahead, and being open to other points of view, even if I do not agree with them. Next, women leadership power acronym, P for patience and O is for openness. Now we have W. W stands for warmth, and the first method to be warm is to be sympathetic and nurturing to my own self. You have done enough. It's time to go, to the spa or to something pleasant. The voice may suggest, and that's the voice that encourages us to set the clear limits and maintain a healthy work-life balance. Next acronym of power, we have discussed the three, out of which the first one was the warmth, and then was the openness, the patience, and now we have discussed warmth, and now power E stands for expressing and feeling my sentiments, as well as honoring and knowing when to feel them. I work for the businesses. They tell me, can you just, she tells me too much. I'm not sure what to do with her. Or can you just, he feels too much. I'm not sure what to do with them. It's not about whether our feelings are correct or wrong. It's about how and where we express them. Not everyone has a right to know how you feel. And the power R stands for responsible. The best leaders accept full responsibility for the state of affairs, and that circumstances was put in our place in some way, either intentionally or unwittingly. But the best leaders take responsibilities for their world in either case. Now coming on to, why do we need more women in business leadership positions? That's a big question, and it needs quite a bit discussion and deliberations in this regard. So we need to dwell into this topic. So the first is, women are the best bargainers and negotiators in the world. Do you believe women lack the ability to negotiate in high-stakes situations? The women are generally more effective at striking the bargains than the men. Even when the stakes are high, as the highest governing body in the land, as has been extensively established. In fact, women in the Senate are better than their male colleagues in working with the people, with differing ideas and the opinions to get things done. These female leaders foster the bipartisan collaboration and cooperation, assisting in smooth operation of a government infamous for gridlock and infighting. In other words, getting female senators to the sponsors, support and push a bill will increase its chances of passing through the Congress. Female business executives have the ability to reach the agreements and close the deals, whereas the males may fall short. They must, however, be invited to the table and given the positions of leadership and the power. The second important reason why we should have the women leaders is about having more women in positions of the leadership will help to close the gender pay gap. the pay gap between the men and women is perplexing the phenomena that has persisted after the decades of advancement in the workplace. Experts have been hunting for a means to close the gender wage gap. Women gets 77.9 cents for every dollar earned by males for far long, because it has been an international study which clearly states a global differences as far as the gender pay is concerned, and it is very important to understand the gender global perspective, then to come on and indigenize the concept and have the Indian perspective. With little success, one of the most potential remedies is the movement of the promotion of the women into the position of leadership. Having more women in positions of the leadership will help to close the gender gap. In truth, there aren't just a salary discrepancy between men and women. There are a big gap as far as the gender opportunity gap is concerned, and that's there it makes the difference and make the women quite down compared to men who are more in top hierarchy compared to C-suite positions for the females. That means the women are deprived of the global opportunities, whether it is, the pan-India concept or the global concept. In every respect, there is a huge opportunity gap. Women and men start their careers making nearly the same amount of money for which the same work, and according to pay scale articles, males are given much more opportunities to move into a higher paying leadership positions compared to the females. Males are 70% more likely than the women to hold the executive jobs halfway through their careers, and the men are about 142% more likely than the women to hold the C-suite positions at the end of their careers. The company executives are typically paid more, and it seems obvious that elevating more women into the business and the leadership positions can really help bridging this particular gap, and that is why only a part of the story. According to Pew Research survey which was conducted in 2014, women in leadership positions are better to delivering a fair pay and the good benefits to the others. And it's not enough for the few women to get to the top at the expense of their peers. We need all women to achieve at the same time, and as we want the business to prosper. And after all, a rising tide lifts all the boats, and having women in the position of the leadership will help to spur large-scale industry, which takes us to a third reason. Now, women make outstanding mentors. In the same Pew Research survey, the outcomes of which we are discussing, respondents said that the women executives are better to mentor and direct the young employees than men. So she is a good mentor with good position, with the good power acronyms which we have discussed. So why not have more women at the board, in the C-suite positions, and the people who are top in hierarchy? This is actually going to bridge the entire opportunity gap, which is very essential. Now, women make more outstanding mentors is a very important thing to be discussed, because it has been also empirically proved. But this is virtually besides the point, because regardless of the mentor gender, everyone needs a competent mentor and to help them advance in their careers and objectives. And it's pointless to argue that women are better mentors. That the truth is that the women need more mentors in general to thrive. And the males are currently less likely to mentor the women than they are about to mentor other men, which is one of the challenging women face. Women, on the other hand, are far more likely than the male to mentor the other females. And of course, we need to actually discuss that we may also move closer to gender equality in the workplace by encouraging successful males to the mentor potential female leaders. The gender gaps will persist until a collaborative effort is made and a collective decision is made to place more women at a C-suite positions.